From your own experience, can you point to any notable successes of when you've invested in informal learning with organisations, within an organisation, and the success that you've had there?
Oh, sure. I can give you one example of when I was Chief Learning Officer at Reuters. We had a challenge with our technical staff. We moved a lot of our technical development from North America and Europe based into Asia, and we built two big development centres, one in Bangkok and one in Beijing. The average age of the workforce in Bangkok was 24. The average age of the workforce in Beijing when we first kicked off was 28. So they're young people straight out of university, bright, smart technical developers. And I always say that I had a big multi-million pound budget for learning and development. I always say that one of the best spends that I made on learning and development was on pizzas, because what we did in terms of knowledge transfer, we got people together every Thursday afternoon in Bangkok. We identified people who were good at doing their jobs, and we had a knowledge sharing activity, and we provided pizzas and soft drink. So the cost of providing that was really very low. People learnt what best practice and what good practice was about, and they also learned at the same time to identify who were the people who knew that they needed to go to when they go. So that's one example. Another example was I've been involved and seen organisations putting in performance support solutions, and solutions where access is given to bodies of information rather than training. And there are, again, I've seen it with the Skillsoft Books 24/7, which is simply an online library, but I've also seen it where organisations have opened up access to knowledge bases and expert location systems and so on. And of course the big consultancy companies are really good at doing this. PricewaterhouseCoopers has an excellent expert location tool, and as you would expect, whenever they have a new contract or a new project comes in, you need to find who in the organisation has worked on projects like that, who's familiar in that domain area, all those sort of things. So there's lots of examples around, and in fact, if you look in Jay Cross's book, you'll see lots of examples. And in fact, our most recent book that I've written with Jay and some colleagues, called Working Smarter, there's a list of companies that have made huge savings by thinking about how can we provide access to people and to information rather than trying to train people. And then we look at the ROI savings, and there's been huge multi-million pound savings.
That's very interesting. So it's almost facilitating people's access to other people and their knowledge.
Absolutely. That's right. And I think that plays back into the role that L&D plays. And this is one of the challenges and areas that I'm working on, in that it means that the L&D role changes from being a designer, a developer and a deliverer of content, of learning content, to being a facilitator and a curator of knowledge sources and information, and helping people develop a set of core skills, but actually then just making sure that they've got access to the wider range of information, because information changes all the time. Again, when you look at McKinsey did a piece of research a couple of years ago, and they showed that the amount of tacit information that people have to deal with in jobs is increasing, that there's an increasing dynamic nature of information. That, I mean, you look at any data, I think Eric Schmidt said it recently, that the amount of information that was created between the dawn of mankind in 2003, we're creating that every 3 days now. So there's this huge ocean of information that we're dealing with, and data, and the way that we make sense of it is not by trying to store it in our heads, it's by being able to find it and get access to it when we need it.